Hello? Is this thing on?
Hi guys, quick video today because I want to answer the #1 question that I get from my customers, and that's what's the difference between Wise Owl chalk synthesis paint and Wise Owl 1 Hour Enamel? Let's answer that question for you today. The chalk synthesis paint is the original Wise Owl formula. It's a clay-based mineral paint. And just to clarify, all chalk style paints are minerals. The minerals are the chalks. So what sets us apart from the rest of the brands is that clay element. The clay allows you to have more durability right off the bat, superior adhesion, and more deeply pigmented colors, which means on your end, less coats of paint and less paint needed. This paint goes a really long way. One of the things that Wise Owl truly prides itself on is the fact that it's environmentally friendly. This paint contains no harsh chemicals or solvents, has 0 VOCs, and is completely non-toxic. So it's safe to distress, it's safe to use around kids and pets, and you can feel good about bringing it into your home. One of the things that people really love about this paint is that you don't need a primer for it to adhere. It'll stick to pretty much anything without a primer. I'm somebody who really likes to do the prep work. I feel like I get a much more professional finish when I go through the steps of sanding and cleaning and priming. And there are instances where you will want a primer with this paint, but that's for another video and another day. As far as adhesion goes, you don't need a primer for this paint to adhere. You can paint glass, you can paint wood, you can paint plastic, you name it, you can use this paint to craft with, to do your furniture with, whatever it is that you want to do. And there are a number of different ways to seal it. This paint also offers, if you look here, a truly matte finish. This is that traditional chalk style finish that everybody loves, and it's very versatile as far as all the different things you can do to it. You can seal it as is, you can use wax, you can use glaze. We'll get into all that later as well. But that's the basics of the chalk synthesis formula. Now on to the 1 Hour Enamel. This is an incredibly tough, fast drying acrylic formula. It's a completely different recipe than what's in the chalk synthesis paint. The clay and minerals in this one allow it to adhere to anything. This one doesn't have those. So this one does require our stain eliminating primer for proper adhesion. The trade-off is though, while this one needs to be sealed for durability, this one has a built-in top coat. So it doesn't matter which formula you choose, the amount of work is the same, the number of steps is the same, it's just going to be dependent upon which project you're doing. This is great for furniture, this one's more formulated for doors, cabinets, trim, handrails. I also like to use it for furniture though, anything that's going to be high traffic, well used, day-to-day wear and tear, the table by the front door that you like to throw your keys on when you come in. This is going to be really resistant against your day-to-day abrasions and scratches and all sorts of things like that. So I'm sure you notice there's a pretty big difference in color here. And yes, these are both the same color. This is peppercorn in the chalk synthesis paint, and this is peppercorn in the 1 Hour Enamel. They are the same color, but because they're made with different ingredients and a different formula, they end up having a different look to them. The chalk paint ends up having a very matte, flat, non-reflective whatsoever finish to it, where this built-in satin top coat causes light to reflect off of it, and it causes the color to appear a lot lighter. So different formula, different finish. They are going to look different from each other even though the name of the color is the same. So I always recommend that you go into a retail space if you have one close to you and look at painted swatches in the booth. A lot of us have them in our booths for you to look at or in our retail spaces. These stickers and the digital versions online are not always accurate. It can be kind of frustrating. So if you don't know where your nearest location is, you can go to wiseowlpaint.com and you can look on Find a Retailer, and you can put in your zip code up to a certain radius around however many miles you want to go, and it'll tell you where the nearest one is. But I do recommend that you go see these swatches in person because there is such a big difference between the two formulas. And then just to show you another example of these labels being not so good at representing the color, this is black cherry. Now if you look at this label, And look at this panel that I have painted with it. The label and the color on the cabinet, they don't even look remotely the same. And you can see through the clear container that it's the exact same color. But most of the jars are not clear, you can't see through, so these labels are all you really have to go by. So I recommend that you always find a swatch first. If you can't find one in the retail space you're looking for, contact the retailer that works that space, and they'd be happy to get you one. We always love to share our colors. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the different ways that you can finish this. Once again, built-in satin top coat, chalk synthesis paint, you do need to seal it. You can seal it with either the 1 hour enamel clear, the varnish, you can seal it with wax, you can glaze it, you can even use our furniture salve or tonic to seal this finish. And if you stay tuned and watch our next video, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. The only difference really between these two as far as different finishes you can do is wax. The wax won't stick to the enamel surface, so if you plan to wax your piece, there's a specific look you're going for, you can't do wax on the enamel. But that's pretty much it. This surface is just ready to go for transfers and glaze and whatever else you guys want to do to it. If you do any of those things though, just make sure to do an extra layer of clear enamel over this. To make sure that your glaze or your decoupage or your transfers, that they don't come off afterwards. You'll want to seal those on. But as far as the paint itself, it's durable and it's ready to go, and it doesn't need a top coat. Again, you can do a number of different sealers on top of this, and you can wax this as well. So again, I hope this kind of clarifies the difference between the two formulas, and I hope you guys are confident now to go and tackle all your doors, cabinets, and even your floors, and all your furniture and your crafts and all your other fun stuff. That's why we have two different formulas, so that you guys can have huge options and kind of have wide variety of different things you can do with them. If you have any further questions about the two different formulas or how to use them or anything of that nature, put them in the comments of this video. I'd be happy to answer them for you, or reach out to your local retailer and they can maybe even walk you through it as well. I think that's it, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and find us at the following links.